Your support helps us bring you programs you love. Go to wyomingpbs.org, click on Support, and become a sustaining member or an annual member. It's easy and secure. Thank you.
And that's the thing I love about food. It's living.
It can be a little crazy at times, but...
Bumps in the road, yes, but that's okay. Life is not always a smooth road.
You can get everything from worms to cupcakes, you know?
We give people a place to kind of incubate their ideas and then grow them.
I'll show you the Calorie Palace tomorrow. That's going to be pretty cool.
Getting local, beyond the farmer's market, on this farm to Fork, Wyoming.
Thanks a lot. That's all.
Thank you.
Funding for Farm to Fork, Wyoming is provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
The local food economy all around Wyoming has grown for many years now, yet affordable and convenient distribution remains a challenge. But thanks to a handful of creative thinkers, there are a variety of solutions popping up around the state. In Gillette, a storefront ushers farm and cottage goods from underground to mainstream.
Well, I've been involved in local foods and farmers markets for, 15 plus years.
Once an outlaw activist selling raw milk, Frank now manages a producer-run cooperative that has the best selection of cottage and farm foods in the state.
When I first started, there was almost no local foods available in Wyoming. But everybody was always buying eggs from their neighbors, and the awesome cook down the road was always doing lemon meringue pies, and people would buy a half a beef and split it with 7 neighbors.
All part of a long rural tradition of Wyoming feeding itself with everything from beef to raw milk from the neighbor's cow.
So all of that kind of came out when the Food Freedom Act was passed, and it now gave a year-round opportunity to market local foods.
Relaxed regulations on the sale of raw milk has helped many small farms and markets grow.
That's where it really started to take off several years ago. So we moved a farmer's market in here with about 5 people close to 2 years ago. We're about 25 to 30 vendors in here now. We all come in and participate.
Producer participation keeps the store open while keeping overhead low and the sale of raw milk in compliance with the Food Freedom Act.
So we're able to be open 6 days a week, year-round, whereas the traditional farmers market would be open for 2.5 months in the summertime here. So the market for the customers has also exploded exponentially because they're able to come in and get milk and eggs and Amish noodles year-round, 6 days a week, and that makes it so much more convenient for them. So they are spending more money on local foods because it's not too hard to do. So as you come into the market, we have things that we'd like people to see, which is, of course, the local produce this time of year is awesome. Purple cauliflower, which you won't find in any supermarket. Yellow wax beans, carrots, beets to make pickled beets or beet soup. But tomatoes all come from local gardens. The corn comes from the Amish gardens over by Hewlett.
It's a market where you know firsthand where your food comes from.
If you go to the grocery store these days, you might pick up a package of meat and it says a product of the USA. Well, currently the regulations don't require the beef under that label to be actually grown in the United States, only to be cut up and packaged in the United States. Well, here you know where the beef was grown, you know the locker plant where it was cut up. It's just a much closer connection to your food. If you want to talk to them, if you want to go out and see the cows on the ranch, you can do that. I would guess you would call it an informal co-op. We all pitch in a percentage of our sales to pay the bills, and then that percentage drops way down once you reach that, and we're putting a small amount into a kind of a savings account internally for things like more refrigerators and remodeling the building a little bit. We have a local lamb producer.
And the variety is impressive.
sausage and hams and pork chops, homemade tortillas, a couple little Amish boys come and make ice cream once in a while. This is a cheese kuchen, and so it's a German-style pie, I would describe it. Fresh cow's milk, non-pasteurized, non-homogenized. They do some very nice yogurt. Then we also have a goat milk producer here. He's also making some cheeses out of the goat milk.
This small, producer-driven market is nimble when it comes to giving new products a try.
The biggest new products that we've had in this market are the ketogenic foods. Very simply, it would be like no sugars, no starchy foods, no flours. But the people that are missing the sweet things can come in here and get a non-sugar sweet thing, which just tastes lovely. One of my most popular items in here, she's probably 9 years old. She comes in with her mom, another vendor. So she got into making soups out of the leftover produce. So she's now the soup lady. My section, which would be the fermented foods, I do sauerkraut and kombucha and kefir soda, all probiotic type, make you healthy kind of foods that still taste, in my mind, pretty good. From fermented mixed vegetables to the typical sauerkraut, loaded with probiotics. So there's a lot of reasons why people are coming here. To me, most of it is because, okay, so is there a difference between homemade bread and store bread? Yes. So that's probably the best example. It's just good food here.
In another part of the state, there's a different kind of cooperative. The WyoFresh website provides the storefront for this consumer and producer-owned marketplace. Manned by volunteers for the past 10 years, WyoFresh kicks into gear once a month to fill its customers' orders.
So this is a basic sorting of all of the products for WyoFresh. And what happens in WyoFresh is we have the drop-off locations, and then volunteers like myself will pick up the items from our drop-off location, bring it here to Wheatland, and in Wheatland we sort everything to go back to the customer in the locations that they bought it. So if you're selling or if you're buying, you never have to leave your area. So, could be a little crazy at times, but.
Through the website, customers and producers from Cheyenne to far-off Casper are able to connect.
Well, the online farmers market does two things. Number one, it's a year-round market. And the other thing, it provides an opportunity to reach out past a local farmers market. And most of us sell at the local farmers markets, but it's just a way of a year-round market, and people can go online, they can order a loaf of bread, a dozen eggs, pound of hamburger, whatever. It's not like Bountiful Baskets where you got a box of stuff. And our products are local.
WyoFresh is a co-op, so if you just want to be a customer, it's a $5 annual membership, and then you pay the cost plus 10% of the products that you order each month. The 10% goes to the delivery to help compensate volunteers for mileage. And if you're a vendor, it's $10 annual membership and then 12% of your sales.
And the benefit is mutual for consumer and producer alike.
A lot of people love the comfort of being able to get things online. You know, that they don't have to go down to the local market to get fresh things. They can get online, look, and they know that they're getting quality ingredients just with the click of their mouths. So it's very user-friendly. You know, people have a great opportunity not only with pictures but descriptions, have a bio. You can talk about, you know, how you got started in the business, and I think it's great.
The volunteers also get some shopping done on distribution day.
Oh, yeah. Hee-hee. I ordered one of my favorites, the steak package. Lots of fun ones. The New York sirloins, cubed steak, the round steak. These ones are corn, but there are grass-fed options. We have bison options as well.
Everything I make is from scratch. I try to use fresh local ingredients whenever I can. I just really believe in supporting our community and our state, and, you know, as much as possible instead of outsourcing things. I think we're a sustainable state, and why not utilize what we have and our resources. So I utilize berries and things that Leroy has, fresh vegetables that I get when there's more fruits, more vegetables, more things like that. I've gotten eggs before as well, yes, and they're delicious and I love it. It's great to be able to bake with fresh things. Well, and things that are kind of born out of love, We all put our heart and souls into what we do, so I think that makes a difference.
And for ranchers like Cindy Gertz, who has been direct marketing for years, it's a different clientele.
People that are looking for all different kinds of things, not just beef. So bringing them to the WyoFresh website gives them an opportunity to try new things. And so it gives us a new customer base as well.
You can get everything from worms to cupcakes, I mean, that's a lot of different things, It's not just one thing that we're trying to offer, it's a gamut of products.
As a producer, I like that I can reach customers farther throughout the state without having to go any farther than from Laramie here to Wheatland. But I can reach customers in Torrington, Casper, Cheyenne, Wheatland, and not have to go any farther really than Laramie. So now I'll take all of the items that our Laramie customers bought back to Laramie to the Big Hollow Food Co-op, and they'll pick it up there.
So, hi Melissa, here's your order.
In Cody, there's another online market fueled by one man's passion.
I'm not from this culture at all. I was raised in suburbs of Chicago, and the neighborly culture that's prevalent around here is not really like what I was raised in, but it's a really pleasant surprise. People value face-to-face relationships here. Like, relationships are a really big deal. Like, that's how a lot of business is done, based on relationships, not price or something like that.
With the tools of the internet and a vision for bridging the gaps in our busy lives, Zach is taking the legwork out of getting local.
The thing that I love most about Zach is that he buys directly from the farmers. So it is literally from farm to plate,
while preserving that personal connection for over 20 producers.
They're fun to pick.
But yeah, what we're trying to do is really extend the reach of, the producer's personality. The producer doesn't have enough time in the week to go develop a relationship with hundreds of people.
Through Zach's online hub, Cody shoppers can explore and find local producers at their convenience.
We've got a whole page that lists all the producers, explains, who they are, where they're located, and so this is our produce department. So right now you can see everything that we have available.
You don't even have to log on and make an account yet. You just kind of go in and you literally shop. So it's all of the pictures of what's going to be there that week.
And the cool thing about working with a couple different farms in the Bighorn Basin, again, is that these farms are all located at different elevations, so the growing season's a little bit different. So for example, like, we have peppers and cucumbers right now, and they're from Worland, and Worland's a lot hotter. They grow tomatoes and eggplants and nightshade stuff a lot better than right down the street at Shoshone River Farm, because the climate is a lot cooler here. So he grows things like lettuces and greens really, really well. Carrots, all those cool weather crops, he grows much better than they do. So what we're trying to do is make it so this can be a one-stop shop for people. We supplement with other products to make it more like a full-on grocery store. And then, when people need to buy lettuce, we'll be supplying exclusively lettuce from Shoshone River Farm. What we're trying to do is make it convenient for people who are working 2 jobs, have 4 kids. And the cool thing is, you can also do it on your phone. Same thing, you just press that button. So it's that simple, and you're doing your shopping right there, and you've got 4 things in your cart. And then you check out, use your credit card just like you would shopping on Amazon or any other online website. So this is our Thursday pickup option from people ordering off our website. So what you see here is all for sale. So it's kind of like a farmer's market / hybrid of picking up what people order off the website. The customer will pick up anytime between 4 and 6 p.m. here on Thursdays. And then we also have a pickup on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12. Same idea. So that's one way that online customers can get their product. We also deliver Monday through Friday. We're not trying to just attract one specific group of people, you know, because if you do that, there's not that many people around here. So this is what we call the calorie palace, because it's filled with calories, you know, the calories that we peddle in the national market. Like, a lot of businesses will just target one specific type of person. We can't afford to do that. It's just too small here. So our meat department is right here. So this is where we keep all of our local meats. Every home delivery order is distributed in this cooler, or this type of cooler. We actually have some that are bigger, but they're all out to customers right now. And then we put an ice pack in the bottom of it and a cardboard divider. So this ice pack area is the frozen department, so you can put your frozen meat in here, and that will stay frozen. And then that divides the produce, so the produce doesn't freeze. We really do have to build bridges between a bunch of different demographics, if you will. Throw the produce on top. Not literally throw, I say that a lot. Some leeks, some purple peppers, Nubia eggplant. We got that delivered on Tuesday, so it's all super fresh. And then basically all you do is close it up, and that will stay fresh for up to 24 hours. So the customer doesn't necessarily have to be home, and we don't have to schedule a pickup or anything like that. We just drop that off, and then the customer will leave the empties for us the next day or next week, whenever we get over there to pick it up.
My goal is to rely less and less on a supermarket and more locally. So he definitely provides that, makes it very easy.
In the heart of winter, we caught up with the small but industrious Wyoming produce grower, Lloyd Craft Farms.
We work a lot with Terry Craft down in Worland with Lloyd Craft Farms. They are the biggest vegetable farm in the state of Wyoming, as far as I know. I think they're 6.5 to 7 acres, which is actually pretty small for a vegetable farm. There's farms up in Montana that are 20, lots of farms that are 20 acres.
In addition to growing, they run the distribution gamut, from customer direct buyers clubs to wholesaling to grocers and distributors.
The stuff that we have stored here is what we call our winter storage, and so it's cabbage, celeriac, carrots, daikon radishes. And that's what's in this room right here. And then in the other cooler is winter squash.
They have a tremendous amount of winter squash. We had some of it up until like March.
You'll see we've got our potatoes stored in here too. I've got fingerling potatoes. These are cipollini onions, the saucer-shaped flat.
So January of this year, we got deliveries still of squash and onions and stuff like that.
So that's all that we're selling in the wintertime.
It's December, and Terry is wrapping up the last of her weekly Fall Buyers Club boxes.
This was our very last Fall Friday box that went out December 15th.
So all of this would have been in a box this size?
Yep, and so what we had, and this one, I don't bake for every box, but this was the last one, and we had a whole bunch of these sugar pie pumpkins that needed to go, and I also wanted people to have an incentive to buy this box right before Christmas. So I baked 30.
Kind of when you have a slump.
Yeah, so I baked 30 pumpkin pies, and they all went into the box. So this is a sample of what was in it. We had our cabbage. This is 5 pounds of red potatoes, red onion, and then of course our favorite cosmic carrots, 2 pounds of that, and then the pumpkin pie, and then this is our winter sweet kabocha, and then of course the sugar thing. With each box that goes out, there's a sheet that tells you about each one of the items, how to store it, little tidbits about what's in it, why it's good for you.
What an
education. And then on the back are recipes. So with this box, they had a recipe for coleslaw, a recipe for a carrot soup, a recipe for old-fashioned cabbage rolls, and then sweet and spicy roasted kabocha winter squash.
After Fall Friday shares are done, they still have more in storage, so they start the Winter Buyers Club.
Starting in January, we start our buyers group. This will be the 4th year on the buyers group. And what I do is we supplement our own stuff with produce from Spokane Produce. We're not certified organic, but we use organic principles. So we'll be able to bring in USDA organics to supplement with ours. We open that one up to the public. I have what we call walk-ins welcome. So I have my 60 people that are signed up, but then anybody in the community can come in and shop too. And we're in the back of a health food store. And so we have one table for the people that have signed up, and then the other 3 tables are just the produce that we've brought in. We do that January, February, March, April, May, and then we take June off to get the CSA and the garden going.
And the summer members enjoy 6 weekly boxes straight from the farm.
So our CSA is the Bighorn Basin, 6 people in Buffalo and 30 in Casper.
Oh, wow.
And we're hoping to expand that. We have in the Bighorn Basin, we have Thermopolis, Basin, Grable, you know, and then Worland, of course, Ten Sleep.
These buyers clubs provide a stable customer base for the farm, but some crops need to be moved fast in the peak of the season.
And then we sell wholesale. And so we have a buyer up in Montana, out of Bozeman, that we've been dealing with for 4 years now. And so every week our truck goes north. So I have a buyer in Cody that Zach with Farm Table West, and so he's buying from us, and then he resells in the Cody area.
We love working with them because, like I said, they have a different growing season down there, and they also kind of specialize in hot weather crops, which also tends to be what people really want. So like peppers, tomatoes, melons. Their melons are spectacular.
And then every Friday we go over the mountain to Sheridan.
Okay.
So, and I have 2 health food stores and a deli. But with those 3 programs now, we're able to provide produce 10 months out of a year. So it's been great.
Cool.
Love it. 6 years.
And you're still alive.
And we're still alive, barely.
In Laramie, the Big Hollow Food Co-op has provided a year-round outlet for local foods since 2007.
One of the things we found is that with the local producers, we really have to have flexibility and be open to accepting whatever they bring in. This is from Ryan Ranch, which is just south of town. We're carrying some of their squash. We have Planet Laramie, kale and greens, and we have Sheila Bird Farms that we've been working with since we started here. They've gained their organic certification, and they actually produce quite a lot. Some of their zucchini.
Catering to a larger customer base, they've struck a balance between being an all-inclusive grocer and keeping local products on the shelf.
We're very strategic specifically about our local goods and our produce. We're really committed to those being affordable, that anybody who wants to buy them can afford them. One of our biggest things that we sell locally, and what we've seen a huge increase in, is meat. And this is a new product that we just brought in, University of Wyoming, cowboy branded meats. These are brand new since we opened the new store. There's a variety down here, and we will move over and look at our huge frozen meat selection. So we're very fortunate to have that, and that is one of the key things that brings people in my opinion. You'll see that we work with a number of different local meat providers. High Point Bison, which is, we've been working with them since we opened up, and they also, because of the type of business that we do, they expanded into doing grass-fed beef as well, which is down there. And they've developed that product because of this store and their ability to sell it here. And then we also work with Prairie Monarch, that's here locally in town. And then Wags, and Wags carries pork, beef, lamb, and goat for this community. And so all these meat suppliers are really popular, and we sell a lot of their products, particularly the bison. I think they said one time that we sell essentially 1 buffalo a month, which is a lot for them. The producer sets the price that they need to get for that. It's the same thing with the eggs. We don't tell people this is what we'll pay for eggs. The producer comes in, they tell us what they need for them, and then we put a very small margin on them. And so, because again, we want people to have local eggs. We probably work with at least 10 to 12 different egg vendors at all times who just sell them locally here at the store. We also sell a number of things like baked goods that we'll see throughout the store. These are locally produced here. We have a salsa supplier, Need More Salsa, which we sell here. This is also locally produced. She's distributing in other grocery stores now. That's one of the things that's been real fun about here, is we give people a place to kind of incubate their ideas and then grow them. We also sell night heron bread, which is produced locally right across the alley. Cheyenne honey, and we've been working with this company for about 8 years as well. We also sell it in bulk, so people can bring in their own container and fill it up and get it that way as well. We sell lots of that.
And all of this evolved from a small group of Laramie consumers.
This community has a very vibrant farmers market, and there was a desire by the local people to be able to have the ability to get the farmers market products year-round. They decided that the best way to do that is to create a cooperative grocer. Before we even opened the doors, before they even hired me, 500 families had committed to shopping here and put their money towards it. And now we run between 1,800 and 2,000 families that have memberships here. You don't have to be a member to shop here, but if you are a member, if you buy into it, then you get a 5% discount. So all of our staff right now is paid. So, and we have 20 employees here, which has grown from 3 when we started, which is great. And I don't know, we might be adding more on this fall, we'll see.
Having started as a community effort, the focus has remained on community cooperation.
Because we're downtown, there's a lot of things that we don't carry because it's already being done really well. And the co-op is an anchor store, so I think overall it has contributed to the vibrancy of our downtown, because people come down to get their groceries, but then they might also go over and, get their hair cut and buy some specialty cheese, and it's all right here. So it's grown unbelievably, largely because the community support and the local producers.
One thing these markets all have in common is the focus on making local food more conveniently available year-round.
This episode of Farm to Fork Wyoming is available for $25. Order online at shop.wyomingpbs.org. This program was produced by Wyoming PBS, which is solely responsible for its content. To learn more and watch Wyoming PBS programs online, visit us at wyomingpbs.org.